What a day, guys, what a day.
I wonder if good old crazy Ticket Booth Willie's home. Let's go take a look.
Howdy, boys. I heard you had a bit of a crazy day up on the mountain today. How would you come on inside for a little tea and scrumpets? Maybe even a little game of pin the tail of the donkey.
Well, I like tea and strumpets.
I would really go for that pin the tail on the donkey.
Pretty much the first ride of 2026. And look at this stinky thing that I found. Oh my God, it's alive, it's back, fresh off hand surgery. Most people here are gonna be riding big bikes, respectable bike there, big 890. I'm gonna be on my dinky little 450. We've got that beautiful T7, another 690 Gronk on this T7, and there's another 890 back there. Yeah, and Keith, 690, no, 530. Early season riding. Shakedown, let's see what happens. Boom! Nice! Well done. So I'm on the only dirt bike today because I leave for Moab in around 6 days or something. And I haven't given this bike a shakedown ride yet this year. It's definitely coming with me. So is my 390 and my 890. We're going to be doing St. George, Goblin, including 5 miles of hell, and then to Moab.
It took me a while, but I'm feeling good.
He's back. This is beautiful in here. Woo! That's Gronk on the T7 in front of me. You gotta watch out. He likes to throw the odd boulder every now and then, as most T7 owners do. Keen to hear feedback on the camera situation for this year, so I'm now on a DJI action camera, latest and greatest, and I have a separate microphone underneath my visor with a little fuzzy thing on the end, which is technically called a dead cat. This is a great way to get good audio. I've been using it snow biking, it's been great, but the camera without that little microphone gets pretty bad audio, honestly. You might have seen during the intro I was holding a little fuzzy thing in my hand. That's it. It's on a magnet, so I can just reach up and grab that microphone if I need to. Although the placement has been just great. Can you hear what you think? And I'm in an ultra wide lens. I find I really don't have to worry about the camera being too low, too high. If it's just super wide, I can always crop the footage. But I can't make it wider, right? You guys have definitely seen some videos where I've screwed up my camera angle and you're craning your neck the whole time you're watching. I know. It sucks. This has been pretty good though. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Whoa! I got you on film! Yeah, I appreciate the stunt you did there for the camera. That was a good one.
I was wondering if you were right behind me.
He's like, I hope Scott's not there filming.
That halfway between commit and not commit. That way.
Sketchy. Yeah, buddy. to go. That was pretty lively back here from my view. Well, want me to bend it my way? We'll wiggle your tire till it comes down.
Yep.
Just do a little. Yeah, I'm gonna grab both sides. A little wiggle, wiggle. I can hold it again once you're around. Right up the gut. You're going the wrong way. Uh-oh. Let's spin you around. Now it's like you're not going up. So, oh wow, you're strong. Will it go? Can you pull it this way? We should turn you around.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You're screwed now.
Yeah.
You can go that way. Is your kickstand down? Something is weird. Oh, there, look at that. Kickstand on the root. Nice. Oh, we'll see if I'm going to be able to get going or not. Can be ridden in a calm way. Get you out of trouble. Hey, if anybody's interested, drop me a comment. We're noodling this idea of best of and like best of Burn and best of Kamloops, best of Salmon Arm, and having some camping weekends with local guides. Come out here, dual sport or adventure bike, dirt bike. Yeah, I'd be happy to do the best of Vernon. Oh God. You can't park there. Bike sounds really good. He's gonna try the 890 on rally. He normally rides the T7. I think he's liking it.
can't believe how good the brakes are on this thing. Oh, yeah. They're fucking unbelievable.
It has brakes, unlike a T7.
But it's like,
And it has a bit of jam.
it's creepy. Yeah. Like it, yeah. But you know, like for the weight, it's just so different.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bumpy.
Gronk told me no.
Oh,
Not good?
Scott might be okay.
it might be loop out time. Okay,
Thank you.
too early in the season for that.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, baby. We're on our way back to the truck. I consider this shakedown ride a huge success for the 450. It's ready to go. Utah, 12 days of riding. Next, I gotta do a shakedown on my 890. Then it's showtime. I can't wait to share what I've been building this winter with Andrew and Gronk. The trailer. Really cool trailer. Stay tuned. The truck. Before we go, I'm gonna do a little intro here. I filmed a series of things about everyday carries. This little guy is in it. This guy's in it. Let's just watch the first one in the series, and I got 4 more for you coming up in subsequent episodes. Hey everybody, I have a fun little micro segment that covers something I geek out on a fair bit, and that's these little tiny toolkits. Different ways to build your everyday carry, whether it's just for biking or just around town. And I want to share with you a couple of my favorites. Of course, you've seen many times we've used the Enduro to get us out of a bind, whether it's been snow biking, dirt biking, adventure biking. What you don't see is that around the house it helps sometimes too. I'm going to give you a quick review of that. And I'm going to give you a quick review of my new little kit here, which I've put together through sourcing a bunch of things just online. Part of it from Etsy, part of it from Amazon, and I think even a Home Depot. So let's take a look. All right, you're seeing a bit of a spread here. You see I have a number of Enduros. We've bought a bunch of them over the years. We've even bought, I think, a batch of 10 or 15, and we gave them away to some of our DATS customers. So this is the double track. It doesn't have anything loaded in it right now except for its 8 and 10 mil socket, little driver there, and the extension. But I could load that thing up again. The single track is quite good too. It's got an 8 and a 10, and you can choose what you put in there. One of the problems we have with these is they're so convenient to carry, but then you forget about it in your pocket or in your jacket or whatever, and they start to rust. So I'm hoping they come out with a better bit solution there. And on occasion, we've lost these guys. They've just kind of jettisoned themselves at some point, and then they're gone. And they seem to be unique length, which is not easily replaced. So that's the single track and the double track. One of the other challenges we're having is, you see, this socket will no longer fit in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to polish that a little bit and try to pop that back in. And then of course I've got all kinds of extra hex bits here. I can build up a different one, just leave it with my snow biking stuff or with my dirt biking stuff, with the adventure bike. Let's take a look at this little guy. So I wanted something I could easily carry in my pocket kind of all the time. So I built this thing, and it works great. I've had it for 3 or 4 weeks now. Let's take a look at what's inside. So I do have my, well here, let's pull out the most obvious thing in the back here. This is a little pry bar, which has come in quite handy. It's a screwdriver that I have to use quite often when I'm using camera gear. There's a big flathead on the bottom. And then for scraping away things, prying things, this is probably my newest thing. So it hasn't seen a lot of action. My other pry bar is just off screen there. I know that I like having them around. Tweezers, I've had to pull earplugs out of my ears that got in too deep, and I have slivers quite regularly because I have a stove in my office. I'm always chopping and handling wood. I have the bits that I need for all my motos. The Triumph needs the Torx more, the KTMs need the hex, and every now and then you need a little flathead to get in somewhere. Okay, so that's pretty cool. This is the main driver I'm using. It's called a lollipop driver. Look how cool that is. And it's actually really satisfying to play with. Hex driver on the end, so I can put any of these bits in there. But this is the real beauty of this thing. Now you've got torque. So I use this all the time, like when I come back from snow biking. My seat's wet. That's a snow biker thing. You all know if you snow bike. So you got to take the seat off and stand it up so it can drain out over the next day or two so your bum isn't immediately wet on your next ride. Going back here, there's one more really cool part to this because I don't have the socket solution yet, right? So these are 4 metric sockets by Klein. And so I've got my 7, my 8, what is it, a 10 and a 12. Plus, I've got this thing, which is quite a nice reach, good extension. So it can just pop right into here and off we go. And as it happens, the 7 also works perfectly with all these guys. So I got my extension, I got my extra torque. This is right now my favorite setup. It cost me way more than an Enduro because this thing was like 70 bucks and I don't remember what the Klein stuff was, but Klein stuff is so good. It is not cheap. Pry bar, tweezers or whatever, and this thing cost a bit of money, but I like having things like this. They've been around for years. Here's my wallet. It's all nicely patinaed and beaten up. Okay, that's enough babbling. So you can see on the table here, I've got some other things. These are great for future chats. Traditional kit. Here's another way to make other little tiny kits. We'll just cover that next time. This is my main go-to if I'm going anywhere interesting. If I need to expand the kit into full sockets, I go here. And this guy, that's a whole separate video. This is the thing I've often wished I had with me and seems to never have it when I want it. All right, that's it for this one. I'll try and do one of these every now and then just to mix things up.
That's it, Stinky. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye, everybody.
All right. See you next time.